this camera today. Hello big YouTubers, Mike here, and today I'm going to quickly talk about my first impression on the new Fujifilm X-T5. I think I have a pretty good experience with the X-T line. I did own X-T2, X-T3, and X-T4 in my previous years, and I haven't really gave you guys an update on my Fuji gear list, but like a year ago I had to get rid of all the Fuji gears because I couldn't really maintain, two ecosystems, one being Sony and one being Fuji. So when I first opened the box and took the camera out of the box, it actually felt more like X-T2 than X-T3. It was definitely lighter, and the reason why it actually felt like X-T2 more than the X-T3 is because when I hold X-T3, it kind of felt, I don't want to say plasticky, it felt a little bit not as rigid, like not as hard compared to like X-T2. Like X-T2 was a tank. I was like banging it on there. It had a good weight to it. So like a form factor and the weight, when I actually held it in my hand, it felt more like an X-T2. And when I held the camera and pushed all the buttons and stuff, the buttons actually got improved a lot. And if you press on these buttons, this time it does have a good feedback to it. Like you actually feel like you're pushing a button. And with the two dials that's in the front and the back, on the previous version, when I clicked on them, it felt a little bit more springy, but this one, it's actually, it feels like a button. And I think they did improve on the dials too. Before it was a little bit more floaty, but now you can actually feel like hard stops between the ISO and the shutter speed. And the lock that is on top of the dials, it pushes in more this time. So in order to lock it, you have to push it a little bit more compared to the previous XT series. And one thing that I really liked is the bigger exposure compensation dial. With Fujifilm camera, I do tend to use aperture priority a lot. So the exposure compensation dial actually comes in handy a lot of times. So having this a little bit bigger, it felt really good. I didn't really have that much time to shoot, and what I noticed was the weight was definitely lighter, and also the battery improved a lot in my opinion. To me, I actually like this screen more than the flip out screen when it comes to photos. And I believe this camera is more photo-centric camera than video camera, even though it's capable of doing awesome video stuff. But to be honest, it's more towards photo, unfortunately. And I think Fujifilm made it a little bit obvious this time. We're giving separation between the XH series. So I'm not gonna be crying about not having the flip out screen. And another thing that I noticed while I was shooting for past week is that the autofocus did improve significantly. Before, the eye autofocus will jump randomly to random places, but this time, to be honest, it still does a little bit sometimes, but now they do have this thing where if I point it at a human subject, if they can't find the eye, it will actually make a box around the whole body. Like it goes with the same goes with like cars or different kind of objects. If the camera can't really find it, it will actually put around a bigger focusing area. And to be truthful, I don't think Fuji's autofocus is at the level of Sony's at the moment, but it's a good thing that they're catching up and actually improving. So good job, Fuji. So that's it for me today. Hopefully I made some sense. So yeah, if you guys like my content, please give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more camera related videos in the future. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.